Next on Worcester News tonight, the arraignment for the man charged in a road rage incident in Barrie. And riding in style, WPI hosts the future of the automobile industry. Good evening, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McClone. We begin with charges filed against a Leominster man. Police say he's the one who attacked a senior citizen in an apparent case of road rage in Barrie last weekend. We're learning new details tonight. Our Olivia Lemon was in court for his arraignment.
His face covered by a jacket, Ryan Kobus appears in East Brookfield District Court Thursday. The 25-year-old Leominster man is facing multiple charges, including assault and battery on a person over the age of 60.
According to the report by the Barrie Police Department, he suffered severe injuries, including a brain bleed, stitches to a lip, and other bruises. He had an earpiece at the time that broke off in his ear that was damaged.
Barrie police say it was an apparent act of road rage when Kobus attacked a 71-year-old man on Route 122. Chief Eric Dimitropoulos says officers were able to find Kobus after sharing surveillance video on social media.
It may not have been the greatest video in the world, but it gave us a starting point, and for that I'm forever grateful, because without that, it was going to be a difficult and long road ahead of us.
Dimitropoulos says the case is still under investigation, though. There was another person in the car with Kobus at the time of the attack.
We have to determine what their involvement is. They have to report it, they have to be able to tell somebody, or even stop the incident, and that didn't happen.
Barrie police were also able to locate the black SUV which appeared in the surveillance video. Police say they are cooperating with the investigation.
They're working with us. It's still too early to tell exactly their full involvement with this.
It's unclear what led up to the incident. The victim's family were able to identify Kobus as the suspect.
They give a different version in terms of the nature of both parties driving that led up to the incident.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
Tonight we're hearing from someone who was inside the suspect's car. Haley Bebo is the fiance of the Kobus brothers. She says both she and her fiance came forward to the police.
I was just in shock. I just wanted to get out of there. I mean, it was just crazy. He couldn't believe how old he was. You know, when he got a good look at him, I think after, he was very shaky, and he couldn't believe what he did either.
A West Boylston man now faces 74 charges in connection to a series of dumpster fires in Worcester set more than 2 years ago. It was in May of 2013 when Worcester police first started investigating a rash of dumpster fires on Vernon Hill along Granite Street. The Worcester District Attorney's Office confirms John Schilberg was arraigned in Superior District Court Thursday. The charges against him range from arson to burning personal property and vandalism. Schilberg is being held on $500,000 cash bail. A Leicester man charged in fires already pled guilty last year and was sentenced to probation. Schilberg will be back in court in November for a pre-trial conference. A Worcester man is now facing a vehicular homicide charge in connection with a fatal ATV crash last month. Police announced the new charge against 24-year-old Luis Pena this week. According to police, Pena was driving an ATV recklessly on Goddard Memorial Drive on August 19th. His passenger, 24-year-old Paolo Alba, was severely injured when the vehicle rolled over. She died at the hospital 2 weeks later. Well, a movie about one of Boston's most notorious criminals hits theaters this week. Black Mass actually debuts in Worcester tonight. It's based on a book about James Whitey Bulger, who spent 16 years on the FBI's most wanted list before being caught in 2011. Our Andy Madison got some insight from a former state police colonel who spent years tracking Bulger.
John, do you know what I do to rats?
A new movie starring Johnny Depp portrays notorious Boston mob boss Whitey Bulger. He spent years on the run before being caught and convicted of 11 murders.
Salisbury Street now.
And no one knows that better than Tom Foley.
He had the reputation all along of being a very dangerous guy. There was a number of murders that had been conducted that law enforcement felt very strongly that he committed.
Foley was a Massachusetts state trooper assigned to the organized crime unit in the 90s. He made it his mission to go after Whitey Bulger.
If you don't target the guy that's at top, and you ignore that and you let that go on, then you're part of the problem also. And we weren't going to become part of the problem. Hopefully we were going to be the solution to the problem.
In addition to taking on Bulger, Foley says they also went up against his brother Billy and the FBI. Foley says every time they got close, the investigation was compromised. Bulger became more and more difficult to track when he fled, but it also caused others to cooperate with authorities.
It actually helped the case because he was out of the area, he was gone, and these people were willing to come in and start working with us.
Bulger was eventually caught and convicted in connection with several gruesome murders and is now serving life in prison.
And how does he plan to achieve that?
Foley was complimentary of Johnny Depp's portrayal of Bulger, but he says he has no plans to see the movie.
The reality is there's lives that are involved here that, you know, that are being affected and have been affected by this guy's criminal history.
Foley described Bulger as an egomaniac and pointed to the ongoing suffering of the victims' families as a reason why he won't go see the movie. Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
In Massachusetts business news, the latest job numbers are out for the state. State officials say the unemployment rate held steady at 4.7% in August. Massachusetts gained 7,200 jobs last month. It's the 12th straight month of job gains. The state has added over 56,000 jobs so far this year. Well, Uxbridge was the latest stop in the Building Stronger Communities tour. The Lieutenant Governor and other elected leaders discussed the Community Compact program. 7 towns were part of the discussion. The program helps to join the state and local communities in a partnership. Local leaders say the program is beneficial.
There's been mandates that come down from the state or requirements from various governments that towns must do this, and oftentimes they don't have the supports in order to achieve those goals. This, on the other hand, allows towns to kind of self-identify what areas they want to improve on and then gets the support from the state.
Well, we're excited to host this here in Uxbridge. Senator Fatman had reached out to me and Representative McKenna about trying to pull all of our communities together because the Worcester and Norfolk district that the senator represents has a lot of small communities that have similar issues, many of which that can be helped out by aspects of the Community Compact program.
Governor Charlie Baker's first executive order was creating the Community Compact Cabinet, chaired by Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito. And something sure to bring business to Boston, the New Balance global headquarters in the city. The company held its grand opening reception this morning at its new building along the Mass Pike. The new headquarters is part of an ambitious 15-acre development that includes a new training facility for the Boston Bruins, a track and field complex, a boutique, hotel, and a new commuter rail station. The $15 million station is expected to open in late 2016 and will be paid for completely by New Balance. Well, ensuring women earn the same as men. That was a topic of discussion at a roundtable event this afternoon. It took place at UMass Medical School's Commonwealth Medicine in Shrewsbury, organized by Treasurer Deb Goldberg. She says it's a cultural issue that dates back many generations and needs to be addressed all over the country. Goldberg says today was a step in the right direction.
People want to do the right thing, and they want to have successful businesses. So it's a win-win for everyone, and that's what I'm excited about.
It cuts across all lines. It's not restricted to any one place, whether it's urban or rural, but it's a huge issue.
The treasurer previously held a roundtable discussion on the topic in Springfield. Well, they were riding in style on WPI's campus tonight in recognition of this year's National Drive Electric Week. The Institute for Energy and Sustainability held an electric vehicle showcase. Admission was free for the public, and visitors had a chance to learn more about the differences between electric and gas cars. Organizers believe tonight was an exciting peek into the future.
From electric vehicles being something just a few aficionados might want to buy, to just an alternative when you think about buying a new car. Even though gasoline is relatively inexpensive right now, people see what an electric vehicle brings to it, and they enjoy driving it.
Making science more fun for younger students may lead more to them for a pursuit in the career in that field. It's the hope of a new program kicking off in Worcester today. Our Patricia Nicholas has the details.
Let's start with a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squirt it in.
Fifth graders at Burncoat Prep bring science to life with an experiment Thursday. It kicked off the nonprofit Signs from Scientists involvement at the elementary school.
I know this is a school that's been challenged, so to have this science program here and available to the students here that are eager to learn is really important to the overall success for the Worcester Public Schools, but most importantly, to creating a workforce that's prepared for the jobs that we're creating in Massachusetts.
Signs from Scientists will bring real scientists to the 5th and 6th grade classrooms at Burncoat Prep once every other week. This is the first time the nonprofit has been in Worcester. Founder Erica Engel says the students are at the perfect age for the program.
Science from Scientists was really designed to both improve student interest and aptitudes at those younger age and to engage students and get them fired up and excited.
The nonprofit will have a hands-on approach with students. The students will do fun projects while also learning. Signs from Scientists is already doing work in some schools in Boston. The organization received funding to extend to Worcester, where they say there was both an interest and a need.
I'm very excited to bring it to Burncoat Prep. I wanted my students to be introduced to science at an early level where they can get excited about it, they can start thinking about the future, start thinking about their careers, and they already have.
Students are very excited to start their experiments. 5th grader Yvonne Winnie took part in the demonstration. He says he doesn't know what in science he wants to specialize in yet, but
this is pretty fun. Sure enough.
Patricia Nicholas, Worcester News Tonight.
Some karaoke for a cause in Grafton tonight.
I had $1 million. Put some cash in that jar. If I had $1 million.
Wow. Well, it took place at the Tiki Bar at Post Office Pub. The event raised money for Alzheimer's Association's Walk to End Alzheimer's. Cocktail hour kicked off the event, and then the singing took over. Money was also raised through a raffle, and organizers say tonight was all about raising awareness and money to help fight a disease that affects millions of Americans.
It's critical. Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in the U.S., and it's the least funded.
The number of individuals that are affected and families that are affected by Alzheimer's, we all know someone that's been affected by it. It's a very difficult disease. Technically, it's a terminal disease. So the more awareness we have, the more support we have for families that are helping residents that do have Alzheimer's is huge.
So many people have had a personal experience with Alzheimer's disease, myself included. I've had 2 family members who have passed away with Alzheimer's, and it's going to be that much more of an impact on the community as people get older.
The walk will take place on October 4th at Quinsigamond Community College.